Let's go.
It's your back, it dey keep passing. It dey bring out the best thing. I dey feel your recipe. Make you give me that recipe. Fine, fine. Yeah, you fine. You so divine. I dey feel you die.
Alright, y'all, this is Joel Awesome. This is a new episode of Awesome Entertainment. We talking about the MCU post-credit scenes that didn't pay off or we're still waiting for them to pay off. Now, I'm going to say this, man. If y'all ever got deep into the comic books, man, there's a bunch of shit that there's always, read this issue of this to find out this later. And even at the end of all the comic books, they do that, man. It's hard to keep up. So a lot of times, I'm not even sure if they've ever even connected all the dots in the comics. I feel like there's no way they could have. There's no way. It's got to be impossible. But they say go, read this issue and read that issue. But I know there's always got to be teasers. There's got to be canceled comics, man. So I don't think all these need to pay off. Sometimes a good little mystery is it's a good way to just leave things, but let's get into this article. The Marvel Cinematic Universe didn't really begin until Iron Man ended and Nick Fury unexpectedly appeared at Tony Stark's house. Since that shocking moment, both mid and post-credit scenes have become staples of the franchise and of pretty much every comic book, movie now. We got to get post-credit scenes. It's part of the genre now. Sometimes they tease future entries, stories, and characters. Other times they offer fun bonus moments of entertainment, but on a few rare occasions, they have led nowhere. At least not yet. Which ones are we talking about? These are all the MCU end credit scenes still waiting to pay off. Okay. Some end credit scenes like the Marvel's exciting moments simply haven't had a chance to get a payoff yet. That includes Blade interrupting Dane Whitman and the Eternals. I think they've had plenty of time to get something done with Blade, fam. Clea's arrival in Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness. Zeus sending Hercules to kill Thor in Love and Thunder. And the Council of Kane's call to arms Ant-Man and the Wasp Quantumania. We expect all those ultimately to prove important. All right, this is why I think they be chat GPT in these articles, man. Y'all know Kang is out of this shit, bro. They ain't gonna bring Kang back. That shit, they gonna act like that shit never happened, man. I bet money they gonna be like, who? Who? You know what I'm saying? They said they finished that shit in Loki. They said we done. I don't think they bring Kang in. And if they do bring Kang in, they're just gonna kill his ass. You know what I mean? They're just gonna murk him and then he's gonna be out of there. So why would you even want him? The Carl Mordo who appeared in Multiverse of Madness and not the same character who appeared in the first Doctor Strange movie. Yes, he wasn't. The sequel featured a variant of the Baron of a parallel world. The original MCU Mordo, Earth 616, has yet to reappear in the franchise since he stole the magic of Jonathan Pangborn during the end credit scenes. That was in 2016. Meanwhile, the Scarlet Witch killed a whole lot of sorcerers with just one attack. Maybe Mordo moved on to a different hobby after her massacre in the multiverse of Madness. So you're saying this dude pussied out after she murdered everybody and he don't want to do his mission of getting rid of all the sorcerers? I think that's cap, man. Don't do my dude like that, man. Don't do my brother like that, okay? But I will say this. I do have an issue with Carl Mordo, man. How you gonna steal powers from a paraplegic or a crippled man because he was using the powers to walk? He was using the powers to walk and play basketball. And you pulled up on him in between games. He wasn't in game. He wasn't hooping. I'll take that back. He was at home. He just finished hooping. He was tired. He was sore. You snuck into this man's home and you steal his superpowers because he was a cripple using them to walk, bro. Are you sick? That's the first person you attack. Come on, bro. So, yeah, Mordo is a 100% villain. He has villainified himself for sure. But I did like the character. I did like the actor. I do hope they do connect it. I don't know if he's gonna be in Doctor Strange 3. I don't think that's gonna happen. I think he'll come back around 4 or 5. I think that's when I don't think we're going to see a payoff for this shit for a long time, but he is 100% a villain. All right, next we got Spider-Man Homecoming's Adrian Toomes and Matt Gargan talk Spidey's identity. The entire world forgot about Peter Parker's existence in No Way Home, so we might never get a payoff to this post-credit scene from his first MCU standalone movie. Spider-Man Homecoming featured a bonus scene of Matt Gargan asking fellow prisoner Adrian Toomes about Spider-Man's real identity. Adrian lied about what he knew in the telling moment, and that was the end of it for the MCU for a long time. 7 years later, it seems like this scene will see resolution of some kind, though, because Michael Mando Scorpion will head to the MCU for Spider-Man's Brand New Day, but given it's been nearly 10 years since this post-credit scene, we'll believe it when we see it. So they're saying maybe it could show up in Spider-Man Brand New Day, maybe it could show up in the Sony Sinister Six movie. Let's just say this. Sony, do not do a Sinister Six movie. Do not do it. Just leave it alone. Don't touch it. Don't even think about it. Matter of fact, sell the Spider-Man IP because you're fucking it up. Scorpion, I do like. I like Scorpion. I love that character when I was a kid. This dude shoots acid at people. Now, I don't know if y'all can't make a good movie with a dude fighting Spider-Man that shoots acid at people, but I would have been done did that shit. You know what I mean? I would have been done did that shit. All right, next we got No Way Home. Eddie Brock leaves a piece of Venom symbiote behind on Earth 616. Technically, there's a symbiote in the MCU, yes, or at least a tiny piece of one. Is that enough to bring Venom to the franchise outside of his brief appearance at the end of No Way Home? We don't even know if Spider-Man himself will ever appear in the MCU again. What? Yeah, come on now. This tiny piece of Venom might be all we ever get. All right, that's crazy. Once again, y'all be chat GPT in these articles. Ain't no way. We know Spider-Man's going to be in the MCU because he's fighting the Hulk in his movie. So he's in the MCU, bro. It's in the MCU. You're tripping. Venom, man, I wish Venom was in the MCU. I hope they don't make him a joke, man. I didn't like the Venom movies. I'm just sick of the clown shit. Y'all clown Venom. Venom should have been a horror. Like, that shit should have been a horror themed movie. That shit should have been scary because Venom used to scare the fuck out of me when I was a kid, and he was a cartoon. Man, come on, man. Y'all. I like the actor who does Venom, but that shit should have been way scarier and way less goofy. I didn't even watch the third one. All right, next we got the Eternals. Eros and Pip arrived to offer help. Eternals added this gigantic dead space god sticking out of the ocean, since literally no one on Earth 616 has ever acknowledged that in any way. It is so weird, though it's never happened. Sometimes it feels like the MCU treats all the Eternals that way. So who knows if we'll ever see Harry Styles as Eros, the brother of Thanos. If we do, maybe Pip can get a CGI upgrade. Yeesh. Once again, I'm calling y'all out, bruh. This article was written on August 4th. Okay, I actually did a video on August 4th, but the sound didn't record or whatever. But either way, this was done on August 4th. Captain America is out. They have acknowledged the giant space god sticking out of the ocean. So why are you saying that? It's crazy, bruh. I need to get me a job at Yahoo, man. I need to get me a job at Yahoo or wherever this stuff coming from, because they be straight chat GBT in this. But back to the point. Eros and Pip. No one gives a fuck about Eros, okay? No one gives a fuck, okay? He could be Thanos' brother, but if he ain't throwing down like Thanos, we don't give a fuck. You know what I really want to see is Pip. I like Pip. I loved him from the comics. I liked him from the cartoons. This dude could just, he could teleport you around and do stuff, and he's a cool character, actually. He's way more interesting. And I like the actor who plays him, I don't know his name, but you've seen him before. All right, Moonknight, Jake Lockley kills Arthur Harrow. Throughout his first only season, Moonknight teased that Mark Spector / Stephen Grant might have also had a third personality neither of them knew about. The show then finally confirmed the existence of Jake Lockley during the end credit scene where Khonshu called on his dangerous avatar to kill Arthur Harrow. It was a big tease for a second season, or at least an expanded role for Oscar Isaac in the franchise. Only no one knows if we'll ever see Moon Knight in the MCU again. That sad capper might be the last we ever see of Mark Spector. Where could it pay off? Moon Knight was good. We're staying hopeful and eventually see a second season. Look, Moon Knight was alright. It was alright. It was actually really good the first time you watch it. It wasn't really good. It was alright. It was decently good the first time you watch it. Upon rewatch, it gets worse, right? It gets worse. The issue with Moon Knight is they don't have any real good action scenes in there. There was one in the car where he was driving and he was snapping back and forth through his personalities. That was a good scene. But when Jake Lockley would show up, both of his personalities would black out and he would just wake up and everybody would be dead. And it was like, yo, we wanted to see that as fans. Like, why would you cut the scene of him kicking everybody's ass and then snap back into some mental health preachy shit? You know what I mean? Like, come on, bro. We wanted to see the action. We here to see these people kick ass. That's what we want. Moon Knight was pretty cool though. Like overall, he was pretty cool. They should bring him back. They should do it better. Don't cut out the action. They should be R. I think if Jake Lockley is that unhinged, if he's that crazy, then make this shit R. Quit wasting time. He's supposed to be in the Marvel Knights or whatever. So yeah, just get it right. You know, and this dude really wants to do it. So like, come on, man, quit wasting time. All right, now we got Shang-Chi and the Legend of the Ten Rings. Bruce Banner and Carol Danvers examine the Ten Rings. Okay, Simu Liu seemed primed to become one of the next big stars of the MCU after 2021's Shang-Chi and the Legend of the Ten Rings. The character's future importance to the franchise seemed all but confirmed during a post-credit scene. In it, famous Avengers Carol Danvers and Bruce Banner examined his magical ancient 10 rings, which were also sending a mysterious signal to space. It was the type of end-credit scene that helped build the franchise, a moment that seemed to be leading to something very big soon. But Shang-Chi hasn't even been mentioned since then, not even in the Marvels, a film which featured ancient magical space bangles. Bruce Banner welcomed Shang-Chi to the circus, but apparently forgot to tell him where the Big Ten is. When we will see him, if and / when Shang-Chi 2 actually gets made or someone remembers he exists. That is fucking sad. Man, Shang-Chi was a good movie. I like that movie, man. I like that movie a lot. A lot of people didn't like the giant dragon fight at the end. I fucked with it. I was like, take it up a notch, because if you're going to be with the Avengers, you got to show me what you could do. So he's really a street level dude with the hands, and we got to see a lot of that, which is always dope. I love the bus fight and stuff. I like the fight where they invaded his sister's nightclub, and they was fighting all on the side of the building. That fight was dope. I like that he's like a grounded hero, but you give him the rings, and now he's an Avengers level hero. That's dope. Y'all wasting this motherfucker. Y'all should have did a 2. This should have been a 2. We should be on the third Shang-Chi by now. We should have been on the third one by now. This is y'all fucked up the recipe when y'all did the first 3 phases of Iron Man 1, Iron Man 2, Iron Man 3, and there was an Avengers movie at the end. Captain America 1, 2, and 3. Thor 1, 2, and 3. You stick with the guys who are leading the shit. Y'all keep doing an origin story. It's like, bro, okay, you're supposed to build off that shit. That shit was good. Build off of it. We should have went Shang-Chi 2. We should have been on Doctor Strange. Should take 6 years in between his movies. It should be 2 or 3 max, man. Like, or not gonna be 4, but like, come on, bro. You're just wasting characters. All right. Now this one means something to me. All right. Shang-Chi and the Legend of the Ten Rings, Shaolin, takes over her father's organization. If Shang-Chi ever does get that address to the circus, he should share it with his sister, Shang-Li. I think I'm saying that. I hope I'm saying that all right. I think that's what her name was. I'm just going off what I think it was in the movie. She took over her late father's powerful secret organization during her own end credit scene. She apparently really committed to the secret aspect of her group since we haven't heard from her since. Damn, you ain't gotta do her like that. Besides the obvious answer of a sequel, the Ten Rings organization would fit right in with the Thunderbolts as the characters who feature in our next entry. Come on, y'all. See, it be ChatGPT in this. The Thunderbolts is out. What are y'all talking about? The Thunderbolts was out before you wrote this article, before you published it. Like, what are y'all on crack? Anyway, this is where y'all fucking up right here, man. Y'all got a dope character. Y'all want diversity. Y'all want female. Y'all want ass kicking. Y'all want interesting. You got one. And you don't need to give her movies. This is what the Disney Plus show should be. Don't waste prime characters like Moonknight, even Miss Marvel. Like, don't even Captain America, Wanda. They shouldn't be on TV, bro. They need to be in the movies. Those are your movie characters. When you have side characters like this, these are who you do the TV shows with, especially when you got the 10 rings. Because you can put anybody in that. You can create characters anybody you want. Y'all want to create diversity and y'all want women and shit. Y'all could create those characters within the 10 rings and they can operate them. And they could pop up in a movie or two, you know, on the side. It'll always be a great Easter egg. But these are the characters y'all should be building off of. These are the characters. That way, when people are like, yo, I don't want to watch the Disney Plus shows, like, yo, it's just, you know, Shang-Chi's sister, the Ten Rings. You don't have to watch it to watch the Avengers movie. People won't feel like they doing homework and shit. This is where you are dropping the ball. Anyway, the 10 Rings versus the Hand is what I really wanted to see. I wanted to see actually like a throwback where her dad was back in time versus the other Asian lady in the Hand. Man, that shit would have been dope. I'm telling y'all, if I would have had a little rivalry, a little war, you know what I mean? A little rivalry, let's get it. But they ain't smart enough to do that shit, man, unfortunately. So who knows we're gonna see her. Y'all, this is what y'all should have been spending y'all Disney Plus show money on, man. Tripping. Now we got The Falcon and the Winter Soldier. The part of Sharon Carter is the power broker. Okay, we spent a lot of time trying to figure out the identity of the Falcon and the Winter Soldier's mysterious power broker, but we didn't learn the truth until the U.S. government welcomed Sharon Carter home in the season finale end credit scene. However, it turned out Peggy's heroic niece did not give up her criminal empire just because she earned a pardon. That's wild. Who was she talking to about the access of sensitive documents? We still don't know. They don't know. And we've been waiting a long time to figure out that person's identity. We also have no idea how much longer we'll be waiting for this resolution. When could we see this end credit scene finally pay off? Both Thunderbolts and Captain America Brave New World are fertile grounds for the head of the underworld criminal empire with ties to multiple characters in both. Fam, those movies are already out, bruh. They're already out. This article was written August 4th. They're ChatGPT in this shit. ChatGPT is just gathering what the internet has said collectively and putting it into an article. This is crazy. I need to apply for a job here because I could chat GPT shit all day long. Either way, back to what I'm saying. We don't care about her, bro. We don't care. Move on. This is one of them end credit scenes that y'all can just move on. Just move on. Just move on. We don't care. We don't care. There's nothing about this character that's interesting. Y'all didn't set it up good. If you want to bring her in, kill it. You know what I mean? Bring her in for a nice brutal murder to show how evil somebody else is, you know. But other than that, yeah, let that one go. We can let that one go. All right, She-Hulk, attorney at law, Wong frees Emil Blonsky. She-Hulk showed Phase Villain 1 Abomination completely reformed himself while in prison. We had help working out his anger issues too. The Sorcerer Supreme had been portaling Emil Blonsky out of jail to partake in underground fight club as seen in Shang-Chi. But once Abomination ended up back behind bars following a parole violation, Wong got his friend out for good. He brought Emil to Comatage in a post-credit scene. Why? Right now, friendship is the only answer because it's not clear when or if that scene will ever pay off in the MCU. Maybe he brought him to Comatage for more protection because after Wanda ran through y'all motherfuckers, y'all might need some help. I did like Blonsky in the first. I didn't hate him in She-Hulk. Maybe it's just because he's a good actor or whatever. But like, he was a badass in the Hulk movie. Like straight super soldier, straight like I'll die trying to fight this motherfucker. I don't give a damn. And they turned him to a joke in She-Hulk, which I mean, She-Hulk did a lot of things wrong. He was actually all right, but you know, I didn't like the fact they turned him to a joke. He's Abomination, man. I can't be scared of villains that are jokes, man. If your villain is a joke, you know, it's gonna ruin it. All right, I'm gonna jump into the comments real quick. Let's see if we get one. All but one of these can be easily explained. Post in-game MCU really has no plan or vision, and it's just firing all over the place at random. Exactly, just all over the place. We should have been getting Black Panther 2, 3, 4. Should have been getting Doctor Strange 2, 3, 4, 5. We should have been getting Shang-Chi 2, 3, 4, 5. And then y'all should have been doing Avengers movies with that. You know what I mean? And everybody else can support those characters. You could do one or two, you know, Spider-Man, of course, and you know, like a Black Widow. But they're just shooting at all kinds of shit. They don't know what they're going after. One thing I will say, if you look back at the first phase 1, Iron Man, or I think it was Iron Man 2. I think it was in the Iron Man 2. The end credit scene was Coulson. It was Coulson calling about Thor's hammer. It didn't have shit to do with Iron Man. So the post-credit scene can literally set up the next movie. Like, and I guess they kind of did that. I don't know, spoiler alert, if you haven't seen Thunderbolts, I'm about to spoil it. At the end credit scene, when they had the Fantastic Four flying in, that didn't really set up the Fantastic Four universe. You were better off showing like Reed Richards and Dr. Doom like competing in a math contest or some shit when they're kids. You know what I mean? Just set that shit up and then do the Fantastic Four movie and then bring Doom in and their end credit scene. Like, it's really not that hard. It's really not that complicated. But just having the ship fly in, okay, like it was a. Don't make me sit past all the credits just to see that. Nah, that was good. And the cartoon end credit scene. When I was in the theaters, one of them brothers booed up there. They booed out loud and everybody laughed. It was quiet. It was quiet. The scene ended. It was still quiet. Everybody was like, what the hell? Some brother booed and everybody laughed, including me. Man. Someone says, what about the scene with Howard the Duck? I think Howard was in some other shit. He was in Guardians. He's shown up in a few Marvel projects. Yeah, he was in Guardians. And that's cool. Like, he should just pop up as like, you know, a gem, a little nugget, but we don't need to focus on Howard the Duck, man. He don't need a show. And I did not watch What If when y'all started saying he was smashing Darcy. Howard the Duck is smashing Darcy and they had a baby. I said, bro, I'm out. I'm out. Is that not bestiality? What are we doing? This is what happened to fighting crime? Good God, Lord. Either way, man. Marvel wild, bro. Marvel wild. Let me go through one more. They said all but the last one are valid to talk about. Obviously, She-Hulk is not canon, especially going by the season finale. I'm gonna have to agree with Buddy, man. That shit ain't canon. They basically said the whole show was bullshit in the season finale. So, you know, we're good. A lot of those scenes kind of prove they have no idea where they're going with any of this. So they just throw something out there to entice people and then never mention it again. The Eternals ending was about the dumbest thing ever, and the huge celestial sticking out of the earth would have always been a major topic of discussion for everyone on the planet. I mean, they had, and it's like they have things set up where you're like, okay, they're gonna focus on this, and then they just turn the other direction and like, no, let's do something stupid. Like the blip effect, it changed life as you know it, man. 5 years gone of half the world, and then 5 years back at the same age and shit. You should have went deeper than just one movie of addressing that. They barely addressed it in Spider-Man Far From Home. But that should have really, really been more effective. What you should have did is use the blip, right? To set up Secret Invasion or you know what I'm saying? You could even told a throwback movie, a throwback story in the blip. I thought Black Widow was gonna be during the blip. But they, you know, you got these universe changing events, you know, and then they just move past it like it wasn't there. I mean, this is a world-changing event. A giant celestial sticking out of the ground is going to change the world. People are going to go to war. And we saw a little bit of that in Captain America, but once it took years. And two, it is never mentioned. It doesn't make any sense why it's never mentioned. That should have set off the next Avengers movie. Like that should have set off the next war. That should have set shit off. And you have the start of what you need. And then they're like, no, fuck it. We're going to wait. We're going to do Kang, and then we're going to do Doom, and then we're going to do Galactus. It's like, bruh, y'all tripping. Y'all tripping. Either way, we're going to watch. We're going to find out. I did like the Fantastic Four. Thunderbolts was all right. They was trying to save some money. Captain America, ultimately, it was pretty booty, but Hulk was cool. Either way, like the video, hit share, hit subscribe. I am out. All right, people. I am not out. I'm back. I have to put out an apology to Michael Walsh or Mikey Walsh. I read the bottom of the article. The article actually came out in 2023, but it's published again. Well, I guess it came out in 2023, and they put it back out on the 4th of August, 2025. So this is a 2-year-old article. Michael Walsh did not chat GPT his article. At least I have no proof that he chat GPT'd his article. It's just Yahoo is putting out old shit as new shit. So it's not on him, it's on them. I don't like to be wrong. If I'm wrong, I'm going to admit that I'm wrong as fast as possibly. So I'm going to put it on the end of this video. Hey, my bad, bro. You did chat GPT. It was crazy. I was wondering why I kept saying Thunderbolts or Captain America. And I'm like, bro, we've seen these movies. So it's because Yahoo is putting out 2-year-old articles. It is not the author's fault. It is what it is. But once again, you can just regurgitate your articles, Yahoo, man. Give me a job. I can repost some shit any day. You know. Either way, like, share, subscribe. I'm out for real. Don't play with my patience, man. They gone with the flow when they trying to fake it. That's not the way I roll. That's not the combination. You start off with the dough before you start the conversation. No one start the salutations, man. Don't play with me. I'm coming from a place they would hate to be. I'm going through a phase you would hate to see. They say this life's a trip. Ain't no telling where it's taking me. When you on the edge and you make your next move, better be your best. Before you throw it to the depths, better reinvest. Man, I count every moment and count every step, so I know I'm blessed. Now it's time to